Right, these are the solutions to the Parabolas and Circles worksheet that I gave you guys last week. If you have any questions when you're done looking at this video, please feel free to email me. So on this, for the first 8 problems, you had to first identify if this was a parabola or a circle. If it's a parabola, state the vertex, the axis of symmetry, get it in vertex form if it's not already, and then graph it. For circles, again, HK form if it's not already, identify the center and radius and graph those. So for number 1 here, this is a parabola. If you notice, we only see an x squared, not both an x squared and a y squared. Notice the leading coefficient is a 1, so there's no need to divide by anything or factor anything out. As we did in class, I'm going to leave the -5 on the same side for right now. But I am going to leave a little bit of a space after the 4x. And this is where we want to complete the square. So this is where we take half of 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So I'm going to add a 4 here. And because I'm leaving everything on the same side, I need to do the opposite. So I'm going to subtract a 4. For this perfect square trinomial now, this is where we want to factor it into the quantity x plus 2 squared. And then we get our -9 when we combine those last two numbers. So here the vertex. Because this starts with y equals, this parabola is going to open either up or down because a is positive. This parabola opens up. And the vertex here, this is our h, this is our k, so it's a -2, -9. The axis of symmetry is x equals -2. So when I go to plot this, and forgive this image that's right here, I can't get rid of it until my subscription renews, which hopefully should be soon. So here I'm going to graph x equals, or the vertex -2, -9, which is down here. Because a is a +1, I'm going to move over 1, up 1 on either side, over 2, up 4. And then there's enough points to graph the parabola. And then showing again the axis of symmetry would be the line x equals -2. All right, for number 2, if you notice, it's just x squared plus y squared equals 49. Because we see both an x squared and a y squared, this is a circle. And when we don't see anything else here, this is really like coming from x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals 49. So when we don't see any set of parentheses, this just means our center is at 0, 0. And we have a radius, which is the square root of 49, which would give us 7. So I have this graphed already over to the side here. Center's at 0, 0. We have a radius of 7. And then draw our circle here. All right, for number 3, if we were to expand this, we would only see a y squared, not both x squared and y squared. So this is a parabola. Because it starts x equals, this will be a sideways parabola, and since a is -1, this parabola will open to the left. And keep in mind the vertex form of a sideways parabola is x equals a times the quantity y minus k squared plus h. So this -4 is our h and k is in here. So our vertex is going to be h, which we keep the same sign here, so -4. Then k, we take the opposite, so that's going to give us a 3. And a is -1. The axis of symmetry, the switches now. Normally it's x equals h for a parabola that opens up or down. This is going to be y equals k, so we're going to get a y equals 3. So my vertex is at -4, 3. Since a is -1, it's going to open to the left. I'm going to go up 1 to the left 1, down 1 to the left 1, up 2 to the left 4, down 2 to the left 4. So there's my sideways parabola. And my axis of symmetry is y equals 3. All right, number 4. Because we have a quantity x minus h squared plus y minus k squared, this also gives us a circle. It's already in hk form, so our center is at -5, 6. Our radius is the square root of 4, which is 2. So going to plot this. And just count up 2, to the right 2, down 2, to the left 2, and then we can draw our circle. right, number 5, again, because it's x equals, we only see a y squared, not both. This is a parabola. Because, again, it's x equals, and then the y is what's squared, this is going to open sideways. A is a positive 2, so this will open right. All right, so this is where I want to factor a 2 out of just the first two terms. So we're going to have x equals, factor out a 2 only. This will leave me with a y squared plus 4y. Leave a little bit of space, keep the plus 3 there. What I want to add to each side, again, taking half of the 4, which is 2, 2 squared is 4, I'm going to add a 4. But really, I added a 4 times 2, which is a plus 8, so I need to subtract an 8. So now I'm going to get x equals 2. I'm going to factor this quantity into y plus 2 squared. 3 minus 8 will give me a minus 5. All right, so looking at this now, again, it's a sideways parabola, so this will be my h, this will be my k. So my vertex is a -5, -2. My axis of symmetry is going to be y equals -2. And again, just to make a note, a is 2. So I'm going to go to -5, -2. This is going to open to the right. So now when I go up 1, I'm counting to the right 2, down 1 to the right 2, up 2, 2 squared is 4, but I need to double it, so I need to go 8 to the right. And then again down to 8 to the right. So I have a stretched out parabola here. And again, drawing in that axis of symmetry at y equals -2. All right, for number 6, this looks a little different. It's still going to be a parabola. Again, only because we see the x squared, not both x and y squared. We're not really going to see any parentheses here. There's no need to complete the square. What I am going to do, though, is just move the 1/2 x squared to the other side. So it's going to become a -1/2 x squared plus 7. Now, we could really think of this as y equals a -1/2 x minus 0 squared plus 7. Since it's y equals, this will be a parabola that either opens up or down. Because a is a -1/2, this will open down. And my vertex, we're back to h here and then k over here, so it's a 0, 7. My axis of symmetry is x equals 0, and a is a -1/2. So when I go to 0, 7, now I want to move over 1, just down 1/2. Over 2, down 2. And again, that's enough, but if we wanted to move over, let's say 4, 4 squared is 16, half of 16 would be 8. So if I wanted to move over 4, I would only move down 8, just to give us a better idea. Show a little bit more because there's a little bit of a gap between this. So just to draw this as best I can, looking at this. And here. And again, here's our axis of symmetry at x equals 0. All right, now for 7 here, we see both an x squared and a y squared, same coefficients, so this is going to be a circle, but we have to get this in vertex form. So I'm going to keep my x terms together, x squared plus 8x, leave a little bit of space, then plus y squared minus 2y, leave a little bit of space. I am going to take the minus 8 to the other side, because with a circle, we want to get a number on that other side. All right, so half of 8 is 4. 4 squared will give me 16. Half of 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. So because I'm doing this on the other side now, still need to add a 16 and a 1. So this perfect square trinomial will factor into an x plus 4 squared. Then I see this trinomial here, again a plus sign. Then we will have a y minus 1 squared. 8 plus 16 is 24, plus 1 will give me a 25, so this is HK form. My center is a -4, positive 1, radius is a 5. There's our points for our circle, drawing this in. And there's number 7. All right, and then one more with this. Number 8 is also a circle. Again, we would have to bring the negative y squared over, and then both x squared and y squared show up. They have the same coefficients, so this is also a circle. And in doing that, keep the x's together, so this becomes an x squared minus 6x, leave a space here, plus y squared minus a 4y, leave another space, and we could leave the 3 on the other side. So here I'm going to add a 9. Half of 6 is 3. 3 squared is 9. Half of 4 is 2. 2 squared, so I'm adding a 4. So we're going to add a 9 and a 4 to the other side. Again, factoring this, this becomes an x minus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared. This gives us 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. My center here is 3, 2. Radius is the square root of 16, which is 4. So 4 up, 4 down, 4 to the right, and 4 to the left. And there's our circle. All right, our last 2 examples, we were given the graph. So I just kind of copied a picture here. For number 9, this is a sideways parabola. So we know it's going to start with x equals, so again, I'm just kind of filling in the spots here. X equals a times the quantity y minus k squared plus h. So I want to first count for the vertex. So it looks like our vertex is at -3 and 4. And then counting up and then over 1, so my a is a -1, negative because it opens left. So filling this in, I get x is equal to a -1 or just negative. Y minus k becomes y minus 4 squared plus h, so plus a -3 or just -3. And remember, you can always graph this on Desmos, or if you have your own graphing calculator, any of these problems. So even 1 through 8, graph the original, graph your HK form, and then see that they match up and check the points. Check the center, check the radius, check the vertex as well. Number 10, we have a circle here with center, looks like at 5, 1. And we have a radius of 5. And again, filling in x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So we get an x minus 5 squared plus y minus 1 squared. 5 squared will give us 25. So those are the answers to the last 2. So like I said, please let me know if you guys have any questions over this. I will be giving you some information in Google Classroom in addition to this, as far as what the extra credit's going to be and the daily assignments. So keep looking for the post as well as the videos that I will keep making.